friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. For those of you who have not heard, I thought I should probably talk at least a little bit about this topic. I wasn't going to initially because I figure everybody knows about it, but then I realized if you're not a content creator, you may not know, and depending on whose channels you follow, not everybody's talking about it. A lot of people are, but not everyone. But I thought I should just bring it to your attention because it's an area that you as a viewer can help all of us out, including yourselves. And you know, that is in reference to this whole thing with the FTC and COPPA. And I'm not going to try to explain it all right here. And yes, all of us content creators, at least any of us that have been putting videos out on a regular basis for the past few months, we all know about it. How much we really know about it is the question, because that's part of the problem with this, with all this, is there's so much, what you might want to say, gray area. There's not a whole lot of clarity. But I've been listening to several videos by Daryl Eves and a few others out there that talk about these various things, especially anything that's YouTube related, and what we can do as creators and viewers and so on and so forth. While some may, who have channels like I do, they might assume that this is not going to affect them because their channel isn't directed specifically for kids, and that's what this has to do with. Though a lot of us have family-friendly channels, our channels are not directed at kids. So, you know, we're not like Saturday morning cartoons or whatever. So my channel has always been directed towards adults. This does not mean that I don't take kids into consideration or that kids shouldn't or couldn't watch my channel, which is one reason why I keep it very family friendly, besides just, you know, my morals I try to stick to. But what they have us doing right now is every video that we upload and every video that we have out, we have to mark it as being either for adults or for kids. Like, seriously. And the problem is, despite the fact that my channel should be kid friendly, and I do have kids that like to watch my videos, it is not directed at kids. Well, you think that would be enough to cover us, just being able to mark our videos, but this is where it gets tricky, is there are certain guidelines out there, and it leaves a lot of gray area. So if you have toys in your video, if you have any animation in your video, if your thumbnails, maybe your thumbnails are brightly colored and look kid-friendly, or maybe the titles might seem kid-friendly, it's just a little too vague. I mean, for me, I like to use a lot of bright colors when I put my thumbnails together because that's the kind of person I am. Those are the kind of things that attract me. And I do have videos where I'm doing secondhand finds to show adults how you can shop, you can find things for grandkids and kids alike at garage sales for really good prices. Is that going to then, is it possible they could come in and label that as being for kids? Well, here's the deal. If I have it marked as for adults and they decide, YouTube and or the FTC decides this video is made for kids, if they decide to do that, then I could get fined, heavily fined. They say up to $42,000, what is it, $530 or something like that, which is a lot, but that's up to. And I'm sure it's going to be different, like case to case kind of thing. Well, I don't want to get on I don't want to be scared of all this. Part of me says, I don't think I should have to be afraid because I believe that I know what my content is for. I think that I can stand behind every single video. But just the fact that they can decide, they can go through your videos and decide what they think you meant to target towards kids I believe there's going to be a lot of videos that are going to get tagged or flagged as a result by the little bots that they're making to do this that shouldn't be tagged as for kids. It will happen, and you're going to see, it's very possible you're going to see a lot of people just dropping off YouTube altogether. Some people will some people may get kicked off, they might get their channels deleted, they might get all their content deleted, you know, if they even, whether they get fines or not. At this point, I totally plan on staying with YouTube. It's going to depend on how things happen. And part of me says, okay, well, I'm fine, just breathe easy. You know, listening to some of these different lawyers and stuff talking about all this. And other times I'm like, I don't know, but they decide. That's the part that gets me. But anyway, before I go on much more about that, I do want to say there is a petition, and I've already signed it. Patrick's already signed it. A lot of people are signing it. And I'll put a link to it in the description box down below. So that is for anybody to sign, and that is basically to force the FTC to be more clear on all this. You can check it out and read it, because anybody who goes in there to sign it is going to be a big help to all of us. And that's not just us content creators, that's to you as a viewer, especially if you have kids. Now, we all understand the importance of trying to keep our kids safe, but I don't think this whole thing, I think it's going to be more hurtful than helpful in any situation, because what's going to happen is those channels that are tailored directly to kids, that's what their channel is all about, they're the ones that are really going to suffer, because even if they mark their whole channel as for kids, they're probably going to lose about 90% of their revenue, because then what will happen is those channels, or any video, let's say I take one of my videos and decide, oh, I'm going to make this one for kids, and I mark it as such, I probably won't earn anything on that, which that would be fine on an occasional video, but nobody will be allowed to comment. They're actually, so I'm letting you know this too, because if you have kids or grandkids that like to watch some of these videos, and maybe you want to go in there and comment, oh, great job or anything, and you're wondering why comments are disabled, well, it's not because of the creator. It's because YouTube is making it so that nobody can comment. And they're also going to take away anybody's community section that they have, if they have anything that's for kids. Now, I don't know if they have just one video for kids, or if that's only applies if their whole channel is directed at kids. I really don't know that. I meant to look into that further, but I'm not sure on that. However, I feel relatively safe on one hand, but there's still that option, because we saw what happened back in, what was it, about a year ago or so, where all of us were getting targeted. All of our videos were getting flagged. Like every single video for a while that I would put up was getting flagged as not being appropriate. And anyone who's been following me for a long time would know that I'm not that kind of person. You know, I try to make my stuff very family friendly, but not just family friendly, but acceptable to just about anyone. I mean, obviously you're always going to have your haters. That's just life. Anyway, the point is we all went through that, and every time we got a video flagged, that video would not be monetized until YouTube had a chance. You'd have to manually put in for a review of that video to say, I certify that this video is appropriate. And then somebody would, once you put in that review, then they have to go check it. And sometimes it would only take about 24 hours, but sometimes it could take a couple weeks before they would review your video and deem it worthy of being monetized. Anyway, as I was saying, I am rabbit trailing a bit. I want to go back to those channels that really are specifically directed at kids, and they may have really great content. They're going to really suffer a lot from this. They're going to be hurting. I mean, especially if YouTube is their number one source of income, and they lose about 90% of it. That's going to be a tough blow, and it's very likely these people may have to look for other means and other places to put their content. But the thing is, this isn't just YouTube. This is the FTC, and they're going to be cracking down on anything. And personally, my opinion is it's just the government finding another way to try to dig into the pockets of us poor serfs to try to get more. I mean, come on, $42,000 fine for an inappropriately marked video. It's kind of ridiculous. So at any rate, I wanted to put this out there so that you could know about it, and then get in there and sign that petition. And if you're curious to learn more, because like I said, I don't want to go into all the details. It's very long and involved, and I'm just trying to get a very rough overview of what's happening here. I recommend you go check out that link I'm going to put down below for the petition, but also I'm going to link to a couple other videos if you're interested enough in learning more about it that I have been watching that might help clarify a lot of it for you. They are quite helpful to me. I mean, listening to them has made me think, okay, you know, because I've been debating back and forth. Do I go at least privatize some of my videos until I see what's going to happen? And then, you know, just those couple that I think might possibly be flagged, but then maybe there'll be others that will be, and I won't have any clue. And I might do that when it comes, because this isn't going to all go down until January 1st. It might be worth it if you just want to know more to go ahead and check out at least one of the videos I'll link down below. But I can understand if you don't have time for that, and you know, but you have to know this does apply to you, even if you're not a content creator, because it's very likely going to change what channels are available to you and whether or not you'll even be able to interact with some of your favorite channels if they totally remove the community section and the comment sections from any of the videos. So that's going to be a real bummer if that happens. So anyway, yes, please go do that. Sign the petition at the very least. It only takes about 10 seconds. Put in your name and all that, and just, you know, that's all. It's just really easy. And the more people that get on there and do that, the better chance that we'll have seeing some better things come out of this. And it is good to know that there are YouTube-based lawyers out there that have their own channels even that are talking about this and, you know, preparing for this as well. Yes, at this point, I plan on staying on YouTube. The question is, will I stay after everything blows up? If it blows up, I don't know. It's really going to depend on what happens. On one hand, I feel like I'll be totally fine. Our channel will be cool. There will be no issues. On the other hand, when it's up to somebody else to decide what they think is right, according to my videos, whether they think it's directed at kids or directed at a mixed audience or directed for adults only. See, they need at least a mixed audience selection, but whatever. You know, that could put a lot of us, any channel, I mean, that really could make any channel out there. I think everybody's going to find at least 1 or 2 or 3 videos getting flagged, and I don't know though. I could be wrong. It's just hard to know what to expect because we've seen a bunch of stuff go down before, and videos getting demonetized and for stupid things. But anyway, that's all I wanted to mention. And if you're curious about what I'm working on here, I'll put a picture of the finished product right here so you can see what it is. This is I had some leftover fabric of this red plaid that I got to go in my most recent all flannel patchwork skirt. There was enough that I could cut out a body for an apron, so I thought it would be a good idea to go ahead and get another apron because the aprons have been doing good on the store. And these flannel ones are my personal favorites because the flannel ones they're very soft and they're absorbent. So if you're going to wipe your hands off on them, well, you've got that. You've got a built-in dish towel to wipe your hands off on when they're wet. So anyway, that's what's going on here. And then after this, I'm going to get to work on another all flannel patchwork skirt. All right, well, I hope you found this video informative and it gets you to kind of thinking of what's going on. And if you see some weirdness happening after the new year with various channels, just understand it's not them. It's the YouTube / the FTC and big government putting their nose into where I personally think it does not belong, to an extent at least. Thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.